for ransom.
Yeah, the money.
But it forced you, that bad situation forced you to stand on your own 2 feet. And if you look back on that, and this is what it's about. Because just because something bad had to happen, and because you wasn't the woman I'm looking at now, you was Mama Bear.
Listen, Quisha, we all have different sides. I have multiple personalities, just like a lot of us. And Quisha was out there, but listen, it had came out. Big Mike said, yes, they were testing her metal and she came through the forge of fire. Yes, I did, honey. Yes, I did. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. I know I started this a little bit early over here on TikTok, so I said, let me go live. I got my friend DJ Larry Loud over here with me, just breathing life, just speaking positivity. And that's what we need in this day and time. And that's why I'm so happy that I have this very, very special guest coming on today to help us understand why it is so important, especially right now. I had a conversation with her yesterday, and she said, you know what, Vet? I'm not going to worry about Project 2025. I'm not going to worry about what they're doing with Project 2025. What I'm going to worry about is what I'm doing with my Project 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028. When she said that, I said, you know what, Rachel? That is what I'm talking about. We need that type of positivity and inspiration in our lives, because if we don't have that, like DJ Larry Loud said, if we focus on the negativity, that's what our lives is going to be like.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Some years ago, probably about, I don't want to give my age away.
No, go ahead. You don't look it.
You don't know how old I am. Going to follow DJ Larry Loud on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And then going to listen to my show. But some years ago, I was asked to join, the order. And I turned them down because I wasn't wise. I wasn't smart enough, I think, or I don't know what it was. I was just a young bull. I don't need you. I don't need no help. Well, yesterday I wound up joining the Elks.
Oh, look at you. Came a whole listen. Sometimes we don't be thinking we need that help.
I'm a member of Lodge number 863. They waived all my fees. Thank you, Miss Green.
Okay.
They waived all my fees. I didn't have to come up with anything up front. And come to find out, their Grand Master is the guy that is he's pretty much the top guy for veterans, to help veterans get their benefits through the VA.
Get out of here. Oh, I'm gonna have to.
He's also the CEO of the African American Cultural Center here.
Really?
They want me to bring some events here and bring some new life into what they're doing here. Come on.
And listen, isn't God good, man? When one door closes, another one opens. Well, I am going to get this show started today. Let me get this. Let me just make sure I put this, because I got to open it up on Facebook. Everybody, DJ Larry Loud, feel free to stay here with us. My daughter is already messaging me. I was thinking about that, Devajna. DJ Larry Loud, I'm going to tap you afterwards about that VA information for my daughter. She already messaging me about it. She like, get his up. Make sure you, DJ Larry Loud, shout yourself out. Let them know where they can follow you at. Devajna, follow DJ Larry Loud right here.
DJ Larry Loud on everything.
Yeah. DJ Larry Loud he's a for real DJ. I know there's some DJs on TikTok that may not be DJs in real life. There, I don't want to call them TikTok DJs, DJ Larry Loud, because I don't know if that's disrespectful.
You could be considered a DJ. You play music on your show. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I know that you also do it like in the public.
If you're playing music, I mean, think of what a DJ is. We're not even DJs anymore because ain't nobody playing no disc.
That's what they keep saying. You know what? I'm gonna have to get a bunch of DJs on the show to talk about that, because I keep hearing that I keep hearing that, DJ Larry Loud. I keep hearing.
My Ed Nice had to educate me on what a DJ is. So it's like there's different levels to this. Like, okay, I'm a radio personality. I'm a mix show DJ, radio DJ, radio show host, party DJ, club DJ, tour DJ. What kind of DJ you want to be? Do you think Red Rocks is a DJ? She plays music on her show. She's a DJ as well. Music in a playlist and play it on your show. You're a DJ.
Okay.
Don't let them fool you. There's different levels of things.
Okay, and I love music, and you know, jamming with Vet Green is coming. I'll be thinking about that. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go live and just start playing some music one day, because music really is like the seat to our soul, and it really does help people. It helps me, so I know it can help other people, and I love listening to music and having conversation.
Music will bring people together just like food.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I see Rachel is here. I'm going to open this up. First, I'm going to share my screen because I want to play her opening. Then I'm going to have her come on and introduce herself. Rachel is so phenomenal. Like I said, if you are looking for DJ Vet, that's right, Cindy 420 Grand Rising to you, love. If you are looking for a coach, or if you are wondering if you should get yourself a coach, especially with the new year coming, like I told you, she told me I'm not worried about Project 2025. I'm worried about my Project 2025, 26, 27, and 28. So when she said that, I said, you know what? That is exactly why I need you on this show, because we are worried about the wrong thing and not focused on the right thing. And Rachel is here to help us focus on the right thing. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, play the opening that I think is so phenomenal, and we are going to get on into it, everybody. Let me just make sure, because I don't want to share nothing that ain't. Oh, there they go. There they go. Enough, girls. I apologize, everybody. Y'all know I got my grand dogs here, and I got the door closed. I don't even understand why they are barking. Girls, enough. So they want to keep on. Lexi, Patches, and Pano. Enough. I apologize, y'all. Yes, everybody. So welcome up to the stage, the Rachel L. Gary. Welcome, Rachel.
Hello there.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Are you on a phone or a tablet? Can you turn
I'm on my phone. Can you see me?
Yeah, turn it this way so it'll be a full screen. Yep. You may have to. Does your phone automatically Does the screen go portrait or landscape automatically when you change it? If not,
let's take a quick second and take a look. You learn something new every day.
Yes. So as we are getting everything ready, you guys come on in. DJ Larry Loud. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So Rachel, thank you again for joining me for an episode of the Vet Green Show. I apologize about the animals. I'm about to put them in the room. Dookie, put them in the room for me, please.
You gotta let those grand pets be great.
Oh my God, they tried to. The big one thing. If I'm having a conversation, if she hear me talking, if I'm not talking to her, that is gonna be an issue. So that's why she barking. And then she set the little one off, and the little one think that she got a Napoleon complex, and the middle one is just a lot. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners of the Vet Green Show. I have my friend DJ Larry Loud on here, who actually set it off on TikTok for us with
Thank
the
you.
mindset and why it's so important to renew the mind. So I'm glad that you're here, and we're going to open up this conversation.
Okay. Hello there, the greeners. That's what we're gonna call you guys. We got to get a name for vets, greeners out there.
I like that, the greeners. I love that.
Okay. As Yvette has already said, my name is Rachel L. Gary, and I am an inspirational coach as well as an author. And what I'm here to do is just to have a conversation and feed off of some positive energy and bring a little positivity to the stage.
And Rachel, you really are. I love having conversations with people who I feel are just anointed and just within themselves. Like you just you being yourself has taught me things just from our brief conversations. You know, you really opened up some things for me yesterday, and I'm so grateful. Through the tears, everybody, I'm telling you, like it was like like you understand, Rachel, like you understand. And sometimes that's why I said, number one, it is important that we surround ourselves with people who are going to breathe life into us, because many of us, if you grew up, you know, different ways, and DJ Larry Loud, you said this, if we continue to feed ourselves negativity, that's what our lives going to look like. So if we don't have anybody to teach us that is, you really can change your life. You really can change the circumstances. You know, a lot of us go through things from childhood. From childhood, a lot of us do not have the best opportunities. I talk about spades because I'm a spades player. We all want that Boston, right, Rachel? We all want that Boston. We want
absolutely
all the books. But unfortunately, many times we are dealt losing hands at first, and we have to learn how to win. And that's what, Rachel, you are here today to teach us how we can win in this thing called life, because it's not over. It is not over until God.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So Rachel, go ahead and talk to us. First, I want you to tell us about how you even got to a place where you had an understanding that, you know what, I can change my entire life circumstances if I just follow these guidelines. So how did you get there, Rachel?
That's an awesome question. Awesome question, Vet. And I'm going to start by saying this is a shameless plug, but not really a plug. The book you guys are looking at behind me and the trailer you watch is from my book, Forged in Fire. That is exactly how I did it. And when you speak of coming from the circumstances where life isn't handed to you, none of us have a life handed to us. And the biggest thing is realizing that just because you have a challenge doesn't mean you can't get past it or over it to get to the next level. And I spent the last 48 years of my life, hey, I don't care about who knows about that.
Listen, we don't look 48. Okay, I'm 48 too. I'm gonna be 49 in January, but
I'll be 49 in March. So there we go.
Okay, that's what matters.
I spent all of my life understanding two key factors. I am the determining factor. Two, I can't let things outside of me control me. And I learned that at a very, very young age. I've been taking care of people since I was 8. Since I was 8 years old, I've been hustling for, you know the phrase, doing something strange for a little change. But it goes to feed myself and feed my siblings. When I was younger, I had side hustles, side jobs. I went from school to projects to helping unload trash cans, anything to make sure that there was money in my pocket to be able to have sustain just to eat on an everyday basis. Yeah. So that let me know very early that my circumstances could not, how about this? I would not allow those things to define who I was.
Now, I want to pause for a minute there, because a lot of times we do not believe that our circumstances could change, especially when we don't see representation of what it could look like with that change. So you mentioned growing up, and I want to, and this is something that I want to really highlight, because one of the things we talked about is that you hadn't even graduated, right? You had not graduated from high school, but you were able to, without a high school diploma, without a GED, you were able to get promoted 10 times within your career without even a high school diploma. That right there says that you knew that you were going to be able to change your circumstances. So talk to us about how did you even get to that place where they aren't even focusing on, oh, she doesn't have a GED, she doesn't have a high school diploma, but because of your sheer will, determination, and obviously your work ethic, you were able to get promoted. So how did you get there?
I would say the first thing is that I didn't allow the fact that my circle, me not having my high school diploma, played a lot into my lifestyle at the time. There was no one there encouraging me to go to school, encouraging me to make sure that my studies were taken care of. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is going to probably be controversial. It was a curse as well as a blessing, because I wasn't confined to what the school system said I could be or who I could be and what I could do. So that was the blessing. I spent 99% of my time when I wasn't making money reading. I was the librarian's best friend. I knew the Dewey Decimal System inside and out. I read everything from the Encyclopedia Britannica to romance novels. By the time I was 16 or 17, I had read probably 5,000 to 6,000 books. I spent a lot of time in the library, and I'll say this. I mentioned this in my book. I had two heroes from the text in which I was reading. It was Batman and Sherlock Holmes. And I know that sounds crazy. However, for the life that I was leading, I needed to find a point of reference that told me, just as you said, there was something more. Now, the reason why Batman, he was a wealthy individual who made a decision to help people. Now, people see that story differently, but I'm coming from the raw, what the story was originally about. His parents had passed away, and he had made the decision that he was going to find a way to punish the person who had killed his parents. He could have done trillions of other things with the billions of dollars that he had, but that's the decision he made. And Sherlock Holmes, because he was able to figure out situations by being in rooms. So I honed those skills from the time that I was 9 to the time I was 18. I honed the skills of being able to be in a room and recognizing positive, negative energy, and understand, and always building a knowledge base, more so a school knowledge base, but having a knowledge base of what the world actually had to offer. Because the school gives you a glimpse, but when you read books about the world, you know there's so much more. And by me knowing there was so much more, that made it where I wasn't limited by what I saw in my neighborhood. I told my children as kids that the ghetto stops at the door. Now, I lived in the ghetto. I mean, and I won't say, and the ghetto means different things to different people, because I have the ability to be in a room full of gangsters or CEOs and be okay either way.
Yeah. I used to tell my kids all the time when we lived in the projects, I said, you know what, just because we live in the projects does not mean the projects need to live in this house. And that's
Absolutely.
not anything derogatory about, it's just a different type of living. Unfortunately, when you live like that, you get so used to the struggle that you don't know anything else. And I used to tell my kids, I used to take my kids out, y'all. I used to drive them around these beautiful neighborhoods and tell them, you can have this because you need to see it. You can have this. That's all right, fella. I appreciate you you can have this. And
Yes.
you need to see it, though. You
Absolutely.
need to see it. And in the books, you were able to see it in your mind. And I think that that is one of the downfalls that we have when we are living in places. And I don't want to just restrict it to the projects, because it's just lower income living. When you live like that, you don't have resources.
Absolutely.
You don't have my neighborhood was literally 4 blocks, and that was my life. So that's where my mind was. My mind was within those 4 blocks, and everything that I saw, that was my world. But through reading also, I was able to expand my mind and say, you know what, this is not right. I know I don't want to live like this, even though I don't see anybody that looks like me living better than this. I know I don't want to live like this. So I want to ask you also, Rachel, as far as developing yourself, what made you say, you know what, I have to continue with this process of developing myself, and I need to acquire some tools? But how do I acquire those tools? So how did you start acquiring the tools to help you through the self-development process?
I would say the biggest thing was, Yvette, is that I realized that. So I want to take a step back. My mother was a gypsy. I lived all over the Chicagoland area. My grandmother lived in the downtown area. So I had the unique, and my grandfather was a business owner. So I had the unique perspective of being able to see that there was wealth was accomplishable, that your surroundings don't make you. And then I saw people that were striving. My grandfather, he golfed with John Strozier, Jesse White, Jesse Jackson. He golfed with them. So, and he was an ex-police officer. So now, even though these people were not people I saw on an everyday basis, and I saw maybe once a year, I am a person, I'll say this, I always gravitate towards the one speck of hope. That one iota of hope opened up my eyes and said, okay, if there's one bit of hope, then that means there's a window. If there's a little hope, there's a window I can climb through. That window I can make it into a door. That door I can make into a house. The house I can make into a complex. So that's where my mind frame was. I didn't allow the environment to be in my mind. I didn't live in the environment. I lived in those books. I lived in those stories. I lived in when I went to my grandmother's house, we shopped downtown. It's funny. I didn't know until I was 18 years old that all these even existed. Now, even though we lived in impoverished areas, that's not where my mother shopped. Because she shopped at like Jewel and Cubs. Hey, I'm going back in the day, Cubs and those food stores. So I was trying to make money to feed my sisters and brothers, and I was getting $10 going to a grocery store that if I had known all these even existed, we could have ate for days as opposed to one day. So it goes to when you don't know, you can't grow.
When you don't know, you can't grow. That is true. And you don't know what you don't know until you realize what you don't know.
So what I did was I dived through those iota, that iota of hope. And I knew that I didn't know enough to grow. I knew I didn't know enough to get a job. The types of jobs that were making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I started off a job making $7 an hour. And this was in 2004. I was making $7 an hour, living on my, but by this time I had transitioned out of living in severe poverty, but now I'm living in, because there's a difference in poverty levels, and we all know that. When you're severely impoverished, where as in you don't know where your meals are coming from, to where you're at least getting food in your house, until where you're not wearing clothes from last year or 2 years ago, or clothes from Salvation Army or Goodwill, and where you're able to go to a store other than a neighborhood store and buy something. Though there are different levels of being impoverished. But even though all of those things external were happening, internally, all I was doing was thinking, building, and growing.
What did you use during that time? Because it's easy to get trapped in that, man. Like you come outside, you're and I'm just talking about my own experiences. I would come outside, there's garbage all over the place. You know, everybody's struggling. Everybody's struggling. You need to borrow this, you need to borrow that, even down to like borrowing a cup of sugar. And it's like, man, this is everybody's life. So how did you train your mind to say, you know what, I'm going to keep on going, even though right now I may not know how much we're going to have to eat this month. I'm going to keep on going. So what tool did you use to train your mind for that?
I went places that were different. Now, at a point in time, I lived on 61st and Calumet. It used to be a project there in row houses on 61st and Calumet in Chicago. Mm-hmm. But the Museum of Science and Industry is on 57th and Lake Shore. I walked. It used to be free back then. It used to be free. I walked from my house to the museum.
That's a long way. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah. Wow. So it's about like dangerous. 3.5 miles. So it's about 3.5 miles. So as I said, I went to the library so much that the librarian, I talked to her. The librarian was like my best friend because I talked to her about new books, new things. And she would tell me, and every library has it, there's a list of places that have free days. They still do it to this day. And I got the list from her. And I was like, okay, the art museum. Okay, where's the art museum? Found out where it was. So I would save $1. Back then you had the super transfer on Sundays. For 85 cents, you could ride anywhere for the whole day. So on Sundays, I would use my 85 cents and I would go to one of the places on the list. I would go into the art museum. Now, I'm going to be honest. I got to tell you, I was dingy. My clothes were dingy, dirty. I would wash my clothes my shirt by hand. And try to iron it so when I went there, I wouldn't look so out of place.
I know what you mean.
I would go to the museum.
Go ahead. I just want to make sure that if anyone has any questions,
please, I'm here for that.
Raise your hand. If you would like to be a part of the conversation, just raise your hand. Chanel, Lakeside, Ms. Mac. Go ahead, Rachel. I do apologize. I just want to make
no
sure
problem. I want those questions, guys, because please, if you don't ask the questions, I can't. I want to make sure that I provide value. That's the whole purpose of this, to provide value.
Now, even with your clothes being dingy, that may stop people. A lot of us, especially, we have this pride and this ego that would have stopped a lot of us, but that didn't stop you, Rachel. That didn't stop you. So what? Because as I said, at a very young age, I realized I can't let what people think of me control me. Because I was dingy. I wasn't living in a way where my hair was going to be combed and stuff was going to be together every day. That wasn't going to happen. So what could I do? What could I still do? How could I get from where I was? I had to learn how to comb my hair. My sister, she's my younger sister. She does an awesome job with hair. That's her thing. So as we got older, she started doing our hair, making sure our hair was in a ponytail, nice and neat. She took care of us, which was great. So they're asking, where can they get the book Forged in Fire? And there's a reference that you made in the book yesterday that I was literally walking through my kitchen and there's a reference she made. Good morning, my beautiful cousin. Good morning, Joanne. And good morning, everybody. And I literally had to hold on to my refrigerator because I almost fell to my knees. This is how deep and in depth she really is. So again, like I said, hey, BAM fam, if you're looking for a coach, here she is. We don't realize that we need to continuously learn. And sometimes you need somebody to talk to you who understands where it is that you're trying to go, even though you may not know where you're trying to go. Because when I started this process, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I'm still, bumping into things like you, and she helped me understand that it's a part of the process. Like you're going to figure it out. It's a part of the process. Like you're going to start one thing and maybe that's not going to work. It's a part of the process, everybody. So I done lost my train of thought because I'm looking at my refrigerator and remembering. So what was that? Do you remember what that statement? We talked about so much yesterday, babe. We did, and I was supposed to write it down. So talk to us about the book, because they're asking where they can get your book. So my book is available. It will be available
available on Amazon on Thanksgiving. However, if you buy it from my website, which I know Vet will drop it in the show notes where you can buy it from. If you buy it from my website, you get everything that you see behind me. That's a goal. My actual book, Forged in Fire, as well as a bookmarker that provides a point of inspiration. The Gold Journal, all of that is a package. And the package is $22.99. Now, I want to be honest, the hardcover book itself is $22.99. So I'm giving away all of it. I mean, the Master the Habits to Achieve Your Goals guide. It has actionable steps in it to help you find the road to success. I also have a CEO habits group where I drop gems tips. We do a 7-day challenge the first week of the month, because it's about having that community of people who have walked the path before. And I'm going to tell you, that is what helped me go from the $7 an hour to multiple six figures, which I know we'll discuss, but
we are going to get into this because she is sitting here. We talk about what you need. She went from, again, everybody, without having a GED or a high school diploma, she started making six figures. Okay. So we talk to us about those steps that you started making. So now you're an adult and you're living life. Talk to us about what that looks like for you.
Okay. So when I was saying it in 2004, I was sleeping on my sister-in-law's couch. By this time, I had 2 kids that were sleeping on an air mattress. Now, it wasn't that we weren't welcome. I just didn't have my own. I wasn't making enough money to keep my own. And I'll tell you guys, in January, I think it was January 4th, 2004, I sat on a cold porch in Chicago, and it was 20 degrees outside. Now, you know the wind chill. If you're from the Chi, you know it's cold outside. It's
very cold.
So I was sitting on the porch. I wrote down everything I had done to get to the point where I was on a couch with information in my head that could get me out of it. I was living a lifestyle that was not conducive to a life of growth. And I was living in a poverty mindset. So even though I knew there was a better way, I wasn't moving towards that better way. I sat on that day and made the choice, the decision to become the CEO of my life. We all are the CEOs of our lives. We just don't own it. So I'm gonna give a little brief discussion what CEO stands for: being clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction. That's what the CEO is. That day, I made a decision. I went to work. So the $7 an hour, I was making $7 an hour. I did not have a GED at the point in time. So I thought I was making what I deserved. I want to take a step back. I was making what I thought I deserved because I didn't go to school. I didn't have an education. When I, that day, wrote everything down, guys, everything that I wanted out of life. On that day, what I wanted. And I started executing a plan. The first thing was, my number one goal was to make my children, because I had 2 kids at the time, to make them to be a person that they could be proud of. Not a parent, the person that they could be proud of. I had to have integrity. I had to get them off of the couch and never for them to ever go back. What did I need to do? Those are my first two goals. Get them off the couch and be a person of integrity, which means that means being a person who does what they say they're going to do every time, no matter if it hurts. So that was my first thing, having that resolve that it was time to move forward towards a better life for me and for them.
I started off that it
for
was
me
okay to move forward.
Yeah, I know you guys heard me. For me, because this is what I told Vet yesterday. You have to love people in the overflow of you. If you don't love yourself, if you're wondering why anything in your life is not lining up, you haven't poured into you enough. to let the things that don't matter go.
Ooh, we gonna pause it. They said, "Come on, sis, come on." We gonna pause it right there because I talked to you about worth yesterday when she poured into me, because you really did pour into me, Rachel, because it really is helpful for someone to understand what it is that you are growing through, because that's what it is that we are doing. We're growing through it. And I talked to you about situations that I've had, even as far as relationships that I've had. And a lot of times we go into these relationships and they're like, speak. Hey, JD, they're like, speak. They're loving it. They say, wow, God bless you, Queen. I told you, Queen, you anointed. I told you are really, really anointed. But it's that worthy part. Even and Big Mike tell me that. He tell me that. He be like, Vet, you are not worth a penny. Stop acting like you worth a penny. He tell me that all the time. But I had to, and I'm still working on it. What can I, Vet, and anybody else out there that's working on worth? Because when you do not feel worthy, it seeps into everything. It seeps into our friendships. It seeps into our relationships, our jobs, because now we're willing to just settle for anything. So how do we get to a place where we do feel like we're worthy and we realize that we do deserve more? How do we get there?
So this is where we were yesterday. So in my course that I have, because I have a course as well, remember I'm an inspirational coach. However, the 4 things: self-esteem, self-care, self-discipline, and being self-aware. You have to build you. So we'll start there. When you are self-aware, you understand you have limiting beliefs. You believe that either what you're doing is okay, or what you're doing is it's okay to be complacent. It's okay to be where you are.
Can I
You're comfortable.
force you for a moment, just for a moment,
Sure.
just because I want to break down what limiting beliefs are, everybody, because you hear that, but sometimes it's caused something else. Or you break down what limiting beliefs are, because a lot of us are carrying them. We don't realize we're carrying these limiting beliefs, and it's really just what it is, a limited belief of who I thought Vet was. I didn't even know Vet existed. So break that down, and then.
Okay. So a little bit about limiting beliefs. Okay. So we are Black women in America. Society has taught us that we are at the bottom of the food chain. A lot of us buy into that. When you buy into something, that you limit what you can do, because you buy into the stereotype that you're a woman, the stereotype that you're Black, the stereotype of that you came from poverty. You buy into that. And that limits your ability to move further to go to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by limiting beliefs. Mm-hmm. That or things that are taught to you from a childhood, that are told to you that because your parents might have thought that was the way to go. Yeah. And they impose their beliefs on you, which limit your amount of, like we hear all the time. Now, this is not going towards Bible, so please do not get upset. You hear all the time that the money is the root of all evil. Mm-hmm. You hear it all the time. That belief was put on us because they didn't want us to want money. They wanted us to be okay where we are. Money isn't the root of all evil. Love of money is the root of all evil. Doing something just for a monetary value is a root of all evil. Having money, let me explain what it allows you to have. Having money allows you to have a nice house, a portion of peace of mind, because you have food in your refrigerator. You're able to pay your bills. You're able to buy that nice house, that nice car. Let me tell you what else it allows you to do. Give back. It allows you to give back to your communities. It allows you to help impoverished kids. It allows you to help impoverished families. I'll state myself, for instance. Me making more money has allowed me to buy property. I'm currently in the process of rehabbing a 3-unit building, deconverting it, making it 6 bedrooms, 3 baths, for homeless veterans.
Okay,
Now,
did you hear what she said? She's in the process of doing all this. Keep in mind, everybody, that she had not had even a GED. So when I say that it is possible to change your life, it does not matter what it looks like right now. It really is possible to change your life. Crew Cut TV, Sundown, Sassafras, JD, Corinne, it's possible to change your life. So continue, Rachel. I'm sorry for stopping you.
Hey,
I just want to make sure
get in there because I want to hear from you as well, because I didn't just pour into you. We poured into each other yesterday when we were talking.
I'll let you in on some limiting beliefs that I had, because I did, and I didn't realize that I was telling myself this. And I don't know if Coach Bree is watching, or if Coach Bree, she's another coach that I was in this is during COVID, when COVID first started, and I'm in a clubhouse room. It's renewing your mind, and I can't remember, it's Corinthians. There's a verse in the Bible, there's a chapter about renewing your mind, and that's what this entire room was set up. And she got to talking about limiting beliefs, and one of the things that she told me is, who told you that? And it's like, wait a minute, I'm telling me this, Rachel. This limiting belief that you are talking about, like, these are the things that I was telling myself. Even this morning when I woke up, it was like, girl, you know, you can't, you ain't got, you, all of this stuff. And it's like, because I'm the one saying it. I'm the one, because somebody else told me that when I was growing up. You know, I was ugly, or they told me, or they never told me that I was beautiful. So it's a limited belief. I'm not beautiful because I was never told that. Or I'll never, you know, I'm a teenage mom. I'm never going to be anything but on welfare. Limiting beliefs. And I had to, and I'm still unlearning things. And the other thing, and you talked about it a little while ago, we don't realize that even our parents or the people who raised us may have had limiting beliefs that you touched on, that they placed on us, not even purposely. It was something that they were raised thinking.
Correct.
So now we have to unlearn. It's really a resetting of our mind, Mother Trucker. It's really a resetting of our mind, Yik Tak. It's a resetting of my mind, and I'm still continuing to do that. So on those days when it's challenging, Rachel, what would you suggest we do? Or even like if there's someone waking up right now and they may only have a box of baking soda in the refrigerator, and like Joanne said, you know, they may only have some items that they got from the pantry. What would you suggest they do so they don't think that they can't change their circumstances?
The first thing is this is what I tell any mentee that starts my program. There's a long checklist, but I'll say this portion. Think of all the talent you have, everything you know how to do. When you are trying to change your circumstances, the first thing is believe that impossible is not a word. The shirt I am wearing says I'm possible, because the impossible does not exist. The word itself is made up of two words. So the etymology of impossible is I'm possible. So at this point in time, impossible is not even in my dictionary, nor should it be in yours. Mm-hmm. The first thing is the food that you got from the food pantry. Today, you might be struggling. So how do you so next week, you're not doing the same? We have to first change our thought process on what we can do. There are so many avenues right now for people who are at a point of being disabled that cannot leave their homes. There are avenues for you to make money. $5, $10, $20. You start somewhere. But the first place you start is making a list of everything you know. Everything you know. We're not going to worry about what we don't know yet, because we're going to learn what we don't know. So let's start with everything you know. Do you know how to write? Do you know how to read? Do you know how to color? Do you have access to a computer? Can you get to a library? I mean, all of those things. And as you go through them, then check off, what do you think you can do with that skill? Okay, you can write. Okay, there are places where you go to where you write for other individuals. There are homes where seniors are, where you could go in there, and they do have where you are a volunteer, but they also have it where you come in and you read and you write and translate things for some seniors. There are so many programs. However, because you don't know it's possible, you have to know that anything you want to do is possible and start today. Write down what you don't know. Everything you do know, and start with what you know. Is there a market for it? Look on Indeed. Pick writing. Just say writing. Writing. Just say handwriting. Put it in Indeed. You'll find out there are jobs out there for handwriters.
So
readers.
It's basically not thinking that your circumstances is going to determine your future.
True.
I thought that because I had limited circumstances that it was going to determine my future. And for a very long time, I sat still. Like I literally sat still thinking, oh, my life's never going to be changed. It's never going to change. It's going to always be like that. And the more I kept telling myself that, everybody, the more and more depressed I get. JD said, that's beautiful. They're loving what you're saying. Teresa said, try different activities. She said, when becoming one with yourself, you feel the power of your capabilities. Yes,
absolutely.
You do. And the more you release the judgment, the more I release the judgment, not worrying about what people are going to think, Rachel, the more I was able to become, because that judgment was limiting for me. Because I was like, oh, I can't do that. Like, oh, somebody's going to say something. Even me starting my videos, the motivational videos, if you go back on the Green Links Media channel, you'll see from 5 years ago, me talking and I'm all shy and I'm just, because I'm worried, in the back of my mind, some people, what are they going to say? Like, they remember when I was addicted to drugs. And they're going to be like, how am I, she's a pill popper. How can she be up here motivating anybody? These are all the things I'm telling myself. Like, that can't be you. You can never do that because you have a past. But it was my past experiences that allowed me to make my mess into my message. And this is what you see now.
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I'm doing this because I had to release that fear of judgment. And I still see that with some people. Like that fear of judgment, especially with this podcasting thing. Like some people just don't, because of that fear of judgment. What are people going to say? But I promise you all, when I stopped worrying about everybody else and anything, what did you call it? The outside?
Outside of you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't mind me jumping in, there was a moment, something that you said just now, and I want to make sure I say something. When you said you were sitting still, and nothing was changing. That is exactly what we're talking about here, guys. The second that you stop, so you might be still right now. That's complacent. That's complacency. Have you ever heard the term for things that are in motion continually be in motion?
Mm-hmm.
So the second you get out of your own, the biggest thing is you're in your own way. The limiting beliefs put you in your own way. They stop you. You put a roadblock up. When you knock those down and know that you're going to fail, I want to say, guys, failure is part of the process. You failing is not a problem. I failed. You failed.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get up? That's what we're working on. We work on getting up, learning from that failure, because I was saying either I'm winning or I'm learning, never losing. So either I win or I learn a lesson so I can win again. And so you have to see, so instead of being still, you can be still with yourself, still with getting to know you. That's what I mean by getting over the 4 pillars of self, the beginning where we started. You have to get to know you, who you are, what you want, what do you desire, who do you desire to be? And once you get in tune with you, you'll understand that what people think of you is, as one of my favorite motivational speakers says, ain't none of my business.
Come on, Lisa.
Lisa Nichols. Ain't none of my business.
Ain't none of my business. And if they can't accept your light, tell them to put on some shades. When I heard, listen, come on, Rachel. Yes, because it's not any of my business. It's not. JD said, reminds me of the story in the Bible of the guy laying by the water until God said, get up. Get
Yeah,
up.
because a lot of times, so this is to a lot of times people utilize religion as they're giving something over to God. They're giving over something to God. If you guys remember, in the same book that we're reading, it says you seeds and you reap from what you sow. So we're not giving it over to God. We're utilizing the talents that he gave us, that were given to us to grow. We have to utilize the seeds that were planted in us to grow. So I say this, I am very spiritual. I am a person who believes that absolutely the God is in me. He's in everything and everywhere and in me. And if he's in me, I'm not going to let me down. So we got to get up. We got to get up.
Even when it hurt, we have to get up. So I want to talk to you also. Let me read some of these comments because they're loving it. Hey, bro, Mike, peace and blessings to you. Joanne said, amen. Big Mike said, failure shows you your mistakes, not to do again. Teresa said, it is okay to fail. I'm just going in here, everybody. Grand Rising. Hey, Sister Sandra, Grand Rising to you, Queen. Grand Rising. Teresa said, I'm teaching myself sign language right now. Why? So I can find myself helping different children and adults. Listen.
Love that.
Okay.
Clap it up for Teresa. Clap it up for her. Go ahead. You learn something new, to be someone new, to have something better. Go, Teresa.
Oh, say that again, Rachel.
You learn something new, to be something new, to have something better. Go ahead.
I love that. It's going to end me on TikTok in about 5 minutes here, everybody. Teresa said, try different activities. Big Mike said, ghostwriters get paid well. I love what Teresa said. When becoming one with yourself, you feel the power of your capabilities. I'm going to leave this up for a while because that's what happened with me, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I started becoming one with myself, Rachel. I didn't even realize I needed to find her. I didn't know I was lost. I didn't realize I needed to develop me from the inside out. I needed to love on me. I need to say, you know what? I had to unpack some of the things that I've done. When you talked about, you wrote down how you got there. I'm sure as you were writing it down, you was like, man, I can't believe I did this craziness. But you have to do it. I had to go through all of that craziness. I had to admit to myself that I was part of the reason why my life was looking like this, Rachel, like I was. But a lot of us are scared.
Take ownership. We got to take ownership.
Can you tell them? Because I didn't want to take.
I say this, guys. Nothing. This gonna hurt. This gonna hurt, and I apologize. Sorry, but not sorry. You are the 100% responsible for everything that happens to you. 100%. If your boss isn't being fair, who's responsible for what you're taking? You. If the person that you're with is not loving you the way you want to be loved, who's responsible for staying there? You. If you are in an abusive relationship, physically, mentally, or emotionally, who can get out? You. If you are living in a place where you are taking pills to get your mind back, who can make the change? You. Everything in your life, everything starts and ends with you. Take ownership, stand up for it, and turn. If you want to make change, start making the change today, and tomorrow you'll see the results.
But I don't want to make the change, Rachel. You know this person did that to me. So why should I have to change when that person did that to me? I don't want to.
I got a question. Is that person still going? Did that person get up today and still continue doing what they were doing?
Yeah, he over here living his life.
So who's got to make the change?
Slap me in my face with that one. And that's what it was. Because I was so angry that it had happened to me. I wanted to place blame on somebody instead of me. It's easy for us to place blame, especially when our lives are not the way we want it to be. it's not my fault. It's my father's fault. It's not my fault. It's my mother's fault. It's my daddy's fault. It's my sister's fault. Okay, Teresa says, sorry, but not sorry. Take accountability. It is hard for us. It's hard. It is so funny because we tell our kids as they're growing up, you know, you did that. Take accountability. But us as adults, we don't want to take accountability for our lives in the way it looks like, because we want to play the blame game. That thing happened to me, and yes, that person is a horrible person, but it is my responsibility to fix my life.
Yes.
But we don't
see it this way. It's very simple what you just said. It goes this way. The boss might have treated me unfairly. What do I do next? The boss did what they did. What do I do next? Do I get the skills I need from that job to grow so I can get a new job? Or do I stay there and continue taking it? Who made that decision? Me or my boss? If a person abused me, the act was their fault. How I take it is mine. So the act might have happened. There's been abuse. Sorry, this might trigger someone. So please take a second. I watch a lot of vets, so you know I know what she's gonna say next. Take a second and go get you a cup of coffee.
Come on back.
Hey, I keep up with her.
I appreciate it.
So we be in situations where sexual abuse might have happened, but after that abuse happens, what do we do next? Because we still have to live with us. So what I do is I give away everything, all the pain. You get the pain. You cause it, you have it. It's yours. I'm not holding on to it. I'm going to recover from whatever happened. How do I recover? I get the help that is needed. If that's if that's going to a psychologist, or if that's going to a support group, is that getting support of people? Whatever that looks like, I get support to grow and become a better me and get through it. But the pain of it, the person who did it, the perpetrator gets it all. You get all that. You keep all that pain, that energy of the pain, you get it all. I'm going to take the positive energy out of it, that I survived it. Say to yourself, I survived it. Say it again, I survived it. Now, with me surviving, what do I do next?
Oh, you know what? I've never heard it put that way. And I'm glad that you said that, because I talk about it a lot on this show, how that abuse is one of the hardest. And I notice on a personal level, it's one of the hardest things for people to get over. And I never thought about it like that, because there's a lot of heaviness when you holding on to that. There's a lot of heaviness, and you don't realize how much your body really is affected by that heaviness that you're holding on to. But when you allow yourself to say, you know what, you can take that pain back. You tried to give it to me, but it was really your pain because you're in pain. That's why you inflicted pain on me, but I'm going to give it back to you. And I'm going to settle in the space where I survived this and I'm still standing. So thank you for that. And I hope that unlocks something for somebody out there, because that was powerful, because it's so hard to get over that, because it really is. It feels like you have gotten your power taken from you, when in essence you really are standing in your power when you can say, I survived it.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Teresa, so I want to make sure that I say one more thing before I want to get back to the 10 to where the 10 times of being promoted without, because so I was promoted, so I misspoke when I spoke to Vet about it. I was promoted 2 times before I got my GED, but I was promoted 8 times before I ever had a college degree. Wow. So I want to make sure the people on TikTok hear it. So because you have one thing for TikTok, right?
Well, they're here. But you're a survivor. Exactly. They're talking about they need the books. I'm gonna put after this, I'm gonna put it all in the show notes. You all just give me about an hour after the show, and I'll have it all in the show notes for you. Link and all.
So about the promotions, I want to speak about those promotions. The promotions came because I stopped going to work for the job. I was going to the work for me. I came in there every day. I understood. So I understood that I come to work to get a check. As long as you're going to work to get a check, you're going to get just that, a check. When I went to work with the purpose of I come here every day to grow. I'm coming here every day to be the best me possible every day. I came there, I worked hard, I stayed focused. The people that were by the water cooler hanging out or by the dock doors hanging out wasn't me. I wasn't with them. I wasn't in that circle. You can walk that dock any time of the day. I was doing my work. I was focused. I was promoted. So I'll give a quick story. I was promoted the first time because we were doing inventory and I saw something we were doing that didn't make sense. So I went home that day and wrote up a process and handed it to a manager, went about my way, continued doing what I was doing because I saw something that was being inefficient. They came to me and said, okay, there's roles for you. Let me say this part. In the 10 times I've been promoted, I didn't ask for any of the positions because I understood two things. What a company was looking for. Companies are looking for return on investments. Mm-hmm. Are they ever going to pay you what you're worth? Mm-hmm. You have to know your worth. Ooh. You know your worth. That company, the money that they pay you is an investment. You are investing in you, investing in the future you. Did you just hear me? Did you guys hear what I said that I'm investing in property? Where did I get that money? A job. So I saw the company as an investor. They were investing in me, were paying me my check. I was a good investment. I came there every day and did just what needed to be done every single day. I wasn't worried about my title, the position, the person next to me, how much work they were doing. Who cared? Because that goes to you worrying about the circle of what influence between your ears and your eyes. That's it. I wasn't worried about what they were doing, why they weren't doing it. I was worried about how I come to work every day, how I show up for me. The second time I was promoted, so I was promoted 3 times within 1 year. Same company. The 4th promotion, there were directors in a hallway fighting because they had three of them had created a job rec to offer me without talking to each other. So they were fighting about me having a position in different departments. Mm-hmm. And we had to sit down together and say, what is it you really are looking for? I walked away from that conversation. So remember, $7 an hour is what I was making in 2004. 2005, I was making 34.
Wow.
Because I just decided I was going to be who I needed to be to make sure my kids were proud of me and to being a person of integrity. Mm-hmm. Integrity is what you do when no one's watching. So that means when people at the water cooler, why I'm not there? Because I'm watching me. Not because the boss is watching me, because I'm watching me. That's not what I come here for. When people are having conversations, I had people that were hiding on shelves. They were hiding in racks. But for me, I was focused because it was not something bigger than me. I wanted to be better than I was today. So that is how the promotions happen. So I have an ebook too. I told you that I have all the tools of how I got to where I am. I have the first book that you guys, this is the hardcover book, but I have 2 ebooks out there that I created. One is called Dominating the Leg Up, getting promoted within 6 months without asking for it. I've done this, guys. When I left that company, I went to another company. The same thing happened within 6 months. I still did not have a college degree. I was a senior manager and I didn't even have a senior supervisor. I didn't even have a college degree. Mm-hmm. By the time I was a senior manager before I ever went to college.
So I know we are going to be closing this out in a little bit. Big Mike said, your emotions start within you. You're worth it.
Yes.
You know your worth. Good morning, best friend. Good morning, everybody. Rachel, we're bringing you back. This was just part one. Okay. I'm going to listen. We're going to have Rachel on here at least one time a month or something like this, everybody, because renewing
I'm here for you. Because you keep doing, I want the positivity that emanates from you comes through the screen. And I hope that I have provided your audience with the same energy that I get when I watch your show on an everyday basis.
Oh, Rachel, you have. And make sure you support Rachel. Rachel, let them know where they can follow you, whether they're on TikTok. Do you have a YouTube yet?
Yes.
Duh. That's where I got the thing from, on YouTube, on all social medias. Bruce Logan put the link in here. Thank you so much for that, Bruce. Bruce has put the link. If you are on Facebook, he put the link to get the book Forged in Fire. I'm definitely going to be getting it. You have a book out already. Forged in Fire is coming out on Thanksgiving.
But if you buy it from the website, so yes, Amazon is a great place to go, but you won't get a signed copy. You will not get the Master the Habits to Achieve Your Goals, and you will not get the bookmarker that has that is about inspiration while you're reading. At the end of the day, guys, support each other. I support anything that you guys are working on that is positive and going to move you positively in the directions in which you want to go. Make a day every month. I'm yours, one day a month. Pick the day.
I got you. And when I get to Chicago, we are going to take care of that. When I get back to Chicago. Thank you so much. And
you can find me on every social media platform. Rachel L. Gary. Anywhere you look, that's I spend most of my time on Facebook and TikTok. I do have an Instagram. I do one podcast a week, and I also show a vlog of my projects I'm currently working on. So once a week, you get to travel through the looking glass of me walking through a project, getting mad at contractors not doing the work. I also have a tool that's associated with it, because at the end of the day, I want success for you guys. Success starts with having the knowledge, and applying the knowledge is how you grow. Let's grow together. I want to make sure I say it. I want you guys to be the CEOs of your lives. And you want to be always moving up, out, and towards the greatness that is in you.
Ooh, amen, amen, amen. Rachel, thank you so much. You have been an awesome guest. If you are looking for a coach, invest in yourself. Do yourself a favor. At least have a conversation.
And I want to tell you guys, the coaching program in monthly is under $100, and we have a weekly group mentorship. So we're talking about for under $25 a week, you can have an opportunity to talk through your goals, get some on-demand lessons, and let's get going. How do we go from where we are today to where we want to go? Let's start moving forward.
Yeah, especially with the 2025. What did you tell me yesterday? I ain't worried about no project.
I'm not worried about Trump's 2025 plan. I'm worried about Rachel L. Gary's 2025 plan, because how do I get from where I am today to where I want to be tomorrow? Plan, steps, evaluate the plan, and moving forward. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for being a guest on the Vet Green Show. If you want more of Rachel L. Gary, make sure you are following her. She's coming back, y'all. We got to bring her back, because renewing your mind is something that is going to make sure we move forward in this 2025. Like she said, I ain't worried about Project 2025. I'm worried about Vet Green's Project 2025, 26, 27, and
let's go, Vet. Let's go.
Okay. Have a wonderful day on purpose, everybody. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Make sure, if you have not already, you subscribe to Greenleafs Media. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It has been phenomenal. I love the renewing of the mind, because you know what? You know why? It is what has gotten Vet Green out. Because Vet Green probably would not have been possible if I had not started renewing my mind. So you guys have a wonderful day on purpose. I love y'all long live. We will be back tomorrow. I may come on live again later on, but you know what it is. This is Vet Green, and this is a Green Links Media production. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day on purpose, Rachel.
You too.
Just like the sound of it.
Have a wonderful day on purpose, everybody. Make sure you join me back tomorrow at 9 a.m.
You mama trying to move in the same spot.
Come on, Jesus Christ, tell me what's the deal.
Just like the sound.
Feeling kinda dizzy, and ain't pop the pill. I'm high on cloud nine, and I'm feeling fine. And ain't the only one who want it, no cockabine. I'm feeling faded, and it feel real good to me. What's the secret? Tell me what you do to me. I'm high in the spirit, feeling real woozy. I'm feeling like David, tell him get
I'm high though, off the Christ though, going psycho. I run around doing cartwheels like a hypo. You feeling me? Don't be killing me. You're illing me. Demons on my back, yeah, they be drilling me. I tell you 3 times like a trilogy. Eating up his word and give me energy. Tell the filthy devil, get up off of me. Saying you gotta pay, ain't nothing for free.
I can't come down, it's only up from here. I can't shake this high off, yeah, I know it's real. When I'm seeing two people, tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. I'm fading in the spirit.
Yeah,
My
vision's kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy.
I'm fading in the spirit.
Yeah,
My
vision's kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. Even to an under top spot is up for grabs, bro.
Just like the sound.
Mid was native, so I never lack. Got my numbers up like Chicago be doing with the tax, though. Hype it, I ain't smoking on the wax, yeah. Man, I can't deny it, got a sober mind, yeah. Fire in my eyes, different kind of high. Mask off Mick Foley, I'm a Russell with the trophies. OG Kobe, wave emojis till I get a flood of rolling, yeah. All of my homies they flex, yeah. I'm still when I throw up the set, and then they invested a check and I came out of prayer, you see the effects. Educated and intelligent, maybe I'm celibate, can't get ahead of it. Homie is evident, I got the evidence, working for presidents, up the veterans. You see all the demons had him up against. Jesus came to my defense. Highly favored, they don't need to choose me. Make them sway with the vibes, that's a movement.
I can't come down, it's only up from here. I can't shake this high off, yeah, I know it's real. When I'm seeing two people, tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. I'm fading in the spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. I'm fading in the spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. Yeah.
I just like the sound of it.
We hope you enjoyed the show. This is a Green Links Media production, and we thank
I just
you
like
for
the sound.
watching. We are here every Monday through Friday beginning at 9 a.m. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell while you're at it. Love you long life.
Man, I can't come down, it's only